Hello, hello, everybody. I am Corey Three-Wing, and I'm here with my co-host Aubrey, and we are Creators Creating. And this is our Wednesday tune-up call that we do every single Wednesday at noon Mountain Time. And what we're going to do today is we want to talk about the power of effective choices. Our topic today is choice. And we make choices. We make amazing choices. But I thought we would do a deeper dig into the root of our choices, why we make choices, and how some of our effective choices are effective and some of our choices are not effective, and why. And so as we begin to dive into this realm of choice, we make choices to heal, we make choices to save ourselves, we make choices because of attraction, we make choices because it feels good, we make choices out of necessity. But before that, I want to pass the feather to Aubrey to bring us into a huge perspective of choice before we come back to giving our intellect some of the tools it needs to help us as we spiritually expand. Aubrey, I'm passing the feather to you.
Thanks, Corey. So I love this topic because it choices a lot of what the universe is actually just sort of made out of. When our original souls kind of come into being, we start creating what's called an Akashic record, which is an energetic record of everything that ever could be or ever will be. And because everything is technically happening all at once, our choices are how we navigate our experience from our perspective. Through our records. And so if you can choose to make a contract to have a certain experience in order to learn something and to grow. And we do that every single day. And one of the best examples of that is that we all chose to be human. We all chose to be here right now. And it's very, it's easy sometimes from a human perspective to kind of shift into this feeling like I didn't ask to be born. I didn't choose to be here, and when you hear that type of frequency, what you really are seeing is someone kind of giving their power away because they are not taking accountability for the choices that they have made, like to be here and to be human. So we gain a great deal of power by taking accountability for all of our choices, the good ones and the bad ones. And I don't actually believe that there's anything good or bad in the entire universe, but we get to choose to have the experiences that we prefer. And so we're going to talk a little bit today about what it looks like to acknowledge those choices as they're happening in the moment and kind of choose into the life that we want.
Right on. Yeah. Well, thank you, Aubrey. And so before we totally get started, I want to open with our 4 agreements, which is our self-governance about how we are with one another. And so I'm going to share these with you, and I'm going to read them twice, as I always do. And here they are. Personal material shared in the circle is confidential. Personal material shared in this circle is confidential. When we listen to each other with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We listen to each other with curiosity and compassion, withholding judgment. We ask for what we need, and we offer what we can. We ask for what we need, and we offer what we can. And from time to time, we will pause to regather our thoughts and focus. And from time to time, we will pause to regather our thoughts and focus. And so with that, our circle is open, everybody. And so here we are talking about choice. And when I'm working with my clients, especially when they're new to this world of making choices about their healing or their expansion or choosing a life that they love, wherever they're starting on this journey, I like to have kind of a holistic view of some of the choices that we're making. And so I always boil it down as this beginner place of the 4 true choices, the cornerstones, or maybe a level foundation of our choices. And so when we're asking about this holistic view of our own life, which is our emotional, spiritual, physical, mental, and social life, the 5 pillars right there. Why are we making these choices? And what choices are we choosing from? And the menu that we're choosing from. Are we more powerfully running away from something in our choice, or more powerfully running towards something? And which of those has more power? But these four true choices, a true choice, and I love this definition of a true choice. It's a choice you make because you upside down, jumping up and down, goosebumps and butterflies in your tummy, love it. You love it. You really, really, really love it. Your heart sings when you make a true choice. And if it's a kind of like it choice, or maybe I should choice, it's not a true choice. It's still on the menu. It's a considerable thing. The true choices are inspirational. The true choice creates a sense of ease and flow and motivated action. It's a choice of something you want to manifest. Goals, wishes, and dreams are not true choices. They are the menu you choose from. But when you make a choice, it is chosen. It's like when you make an ask of the universe, it is heard. And if we get out of the way, it'll happen. It is a choice. A choice with the end result has focus. A choice made with the emotion of the end result. Now we're talking about the law of attraction, the law of resonance, and all these things that we hear so many of our heroes and mentors talking about. But I want to talk about a choice made purely because you love it. You love it. We all want to make choices that resonate with our heart and our soul. We want to find and make choices that really connect with who we are and what we want to share with the world. When it comes to choosing what we want to create, what is resonating as your deep truth in your heart and your soul? Just because it inspires you and nothing else. Nothing else needed, nothing else attached. It is just pure inspiration. Being 100% happy with what it is and what you're wanting to share. And the truth is, we are absolutely not trained, not at all educated to make true choices. In fact, we're told not to. We're literally taught not to. So as we take our power back from our politics and our communities and our religions to stand as spiritual beings, regardless and in front of, we make a true choice because we love them. Sometimes we make progress, and sometimes we don't. So when you look at progress that you're making with the choices that you've made, are you getting there? Is it happening? Is it flowing? Or are you going back and forth, maybe oscillating, stuck in a loop, stuck? Sometimes you get really inspired and you really want to go with something, and then the inner dialogue starts, yeah, but then we get a case of the yabbits, yabbit, 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 loop, 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 stuck, stuck, stuck. That's because our choices we're making are not true. They're still considerables. They're not deep rooted in the essence of who you are. So I would love to switch from, yeah, maybe, yeah, but, to heck yeah, heaven yeah, that deep resonance. When we make a choice from heart, a new pathway is revealed, a new gate opens. What things that were impossible become possible. So I want to stop right there for a minute about true choices, choices that we make because we love them, and these four true choices, and I'm going to break those down in just a little bit, these four categories about that holistic viewpoint. But right there, I want to stop for a moment. And Aubrey, I want to come to you next about true choices, choices that resonate, choices that unlock gates, choices that reveal new pathways, choices that feel good. What do you have to say, Aubrey? Come on in here.
Yeah, well, so one of the things that I like to talk about when I'm talking about quantum mechanics and the kind of the fabric that makes up the universe is it's made up of choices, and it starts with the original choice of yes or no. And as we kind of traverse this universe as souls and having experiences, we get presented pretty much constantly with a yes or a no, yes or a no, yes or a no. What is for me? What is not for me? What is for me? What is not for me? And when you zoom out your perspective and start mastering your no's, so when you start saying no to the things that aren't for you, that's when the pathways for those true choices that Corey's talking about start to open. And you'll find that if you have fulfilled your life with things that you're not excited about, and you're filled with your life with things that you maybe are ready to say no to, once you start saying those no's to the things that aren't for you, you'll start getting little trickle points of little tiny little opportunities to start feeling this overwhelming heaven, yeah, that Corey's talking about. And it could just be a like, yes, I really want that type of coffee this morning, you know, but the joy that starts sparking in your heart will start feeding the energy into the universe that will start giving you more and more and more opportunity to choose into those true choices that Corey's talking about.
Yeah. You know, when we first start a healing or a transformation or a change, when we become uncomfortable, which is the invitation to grow again, most often we are very clear that of what we do not want, or we're saying a strong no to something. And it's our switchcraft moment. It's our invitation to turn it around into a gigantic yes. And I love this phrase, is that we want to know what we don't want just barely enough to turn it around and gigantically know what we desire and where we're going. Because we need to know what the NO is so that we can say yes gigantically. We can say a radical yes to something we've never done, we've never gone there before, something new because we love it. Let's pass the feather around. Everybody, if you've got, maybe how you doing, what are you resonating with in your world, questions, comments, just anybody at all. Feel free just to jump in here. Comment, aha moment, anybody from in our circle today. Anything to share? Okay, well, let's keep going then. And like I said, I encourage you, the second you're inspired with something or a question, please give us a little shout and we will pass the feather to you. So in the beginning of being able to manifest our thoughts into reality, it starts with choices, right? You're going to make a choice. It starts by understanding the difference between true end results and an ineffective choice. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Another way to say that is, what are we running toward and what are we running away from? Yeah. Ed, did you have your hand up?
I was just testing the hand raise. Anyway, I don't really have anything to add to that other than it's the choices that bring excitement to you. It's really that's the issue that, or are you looking for stuff that's inspiring? Are you looking for ways to help? Choosing those choices, I think, are me is it absolutely has to happen that way. Yeah. That's about all I wanted to add. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ed. Which is a focus on what we're running toward versus what we're running away from. Like, I don't want to be sick, or I'm in an uncomfortable situation, or I'm unsafe, or any of the sabotaging identities. I'm not worthy, I'm not capable, those kinds of things. But when we turn it around to what we're running toward, it becomes a true choice, which means it's loaded with energy. It's loaded with high vibration attraction, right? But I talked about a few minutes ago the 4 orientational choices, or when I'm teaching true choices to my newer clients or people who are beginning their healing journey, I like to divide our entire experience into 4 categories. And here they are. The first true choices that you want to harvest are underneath the choice to live a life I love. Okay, I choose to live a life I love. And then we can start detailing and taking some notes. So when I'm living a life I love, I ... fill in the blanks. A life I love is ... fill in the blanks. So that's one category, and it's kind of a big one, but it's the first one. I choose to live a life that I love. And when we make that choice, we change our glasses and we put on the lenses of choosing love, and we start to see love in the world. And that rewrites our menu of the things we're choosing from, because now I love that. Oh, and I love that. Oh, I really love that. And I would love 10 of those. Ooh, love, love, love. And then all of a sudden you get goosebumps and butterflies at the same time. Your vibration begins to rise. And everybody feel that in the room right now. I choose to live a life I love. And all of a sudden the menu rewrites itself. We have a more powerful yes than a no. The second category is I choose health and vitality. I choose health, all of the health, mental, spiritual, physical, emotional, social, the 5 pillars of health. And I choose vitality, which is I am alive and I am attached to nature. It is natural to be alive. And when I choose life, life chooses me. And when I am alive, life shows up. So once again, I make that radical choice of I choose health and I choose vitality. And now we see the world through this lens, and it starts to shape the choices that we're making. It rewrites the menu of the things that we're choosing from, right? And the third one is that I choose my true nature and my purpose. Let's talk about that for a second. My nature, who I am, the way that I do things, that makes me unique in the world. It makes me special. There's only one of me with my fingerprints and my eyes and my vibration and my life and my values. I choose me in all parts of me. And I choose my purpose, which is my mission, the gift that I'm here to give to the world. I choose how the gift that only I can give to the world, the way that I can leave this world better than I found it. So I choose my nature and I choose my purpose. So once again, here we are looking at the world through this set of lenses of true choices. And then the fourth one, and this one's big, is that I choose to be the predominant creator of my life. And the funny thing is, we are that already. But predominant creator, what does this mean when we choose to be the predominant creator? That means that we choose to take 100% responsibility for your entire life. 100% responsibility, because we are creating our world with our thoughts and our reactions. And when we choose to take 100% responsibility, we take our power back. We step into creator energy in a really big way. So to recap the 4 orientational true choices to live a life that I love: health and vitality, true nature and purpose, and predominant creator. To live a life I love: health and vitality, true nature and purpose, and predominant creator. Let's pause for a moment. What is sparking in your world right now? What are you learning about your own world right now? What's becoming possible in your world? Let's pass the feather around. Maybe it's some power words. Let's do a round of harvesting power words. When I call on you, say 1 or 2 words of what you just heard me say and how it touched you. Susie. Yeah.
What I was remembering from last week's session was how you were so on point with your description of a.
Oh, looks like we
Oh no,
lost.
Susie.
Susie, start again. We lost you for a moment.
Yeah, try again.
Okay, sorry, did I? Last week, what really what was really noticed for me last week was when you mentioned about the unworthiness piece, because you stated it just perfectly. And you described me perfectly, because I am a classic case. So I've been thinking about that a lot over the past week, and I think one of the choices for me, and it's a really big life choice for me, and that is to learn my lessons so I can grow into the person that I want to be. And just recently, I asked Aubrey a question about biting insects, um, and I'm getting bitten. And apparently that's a contract. That's a contract that you make to learn something from. So so that is sort of forefront on my mind at the moment, trying to see what I can do. And I think raising your vibration is one of those things. And when I practiced that meditation this morning, I think that helped a little, but that is sort of the thing that is sparking for me when you're saying the choices you make, just learning those lessons so I can become who I'm meant to be, move out of this unworthiness piece and move into the confidence. And I think I'm there. Like I feel like I've been in this rectangular box, it feels like, for my whole entire life, but there's these little cracks and I can see my little essence coming out of it. And I can see like there's like pressure building in this little box. And I just feel like it's gonna just like explode and I'm gonna be who I am, but I'm gonna be even like a better version of me, better than than I am because of all the lessons I've learned. So thank you for doing this, Corey, and for your weekly sessions, because I'm really enjoying them.
Oh, right on, Susie. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the reflection. Appreciate that. Anybody else want to pop in? Anything sparking in your heart and soul? What did you hear me say? What's igniting in your belly right now about true choices? Chris, yeah.
I love what you said about choosing life and vitality. That one got me excited. And then you escalated by saying, I choose my nature and my purpose. That just, it hit me right here. Just as a confirmation of things I've been feeling. And I think a lot of you, I've been leaving a restrictive religion, and I had an experience 2 years ago in an Italian restaurant where I was drinking. I had a glass of wine and I just had a sip. So I was not inebriated. I just had a sip. But I had this beautiful bowl of pasta set before me. It was just pomodoro and basil, and the smell and the wine. It touched me so much. It was the Holy Ghost. And I started to cry in this restaurant. And it was amazing. It was a one of those I choose life moments for me. And I just loved it.
Awesome. Thanks, brother. Anybody else want to share? A little spark, ignite, ignition, creative fire. Okay. Well, as we continue on, there's 4 more choices, and sometimes I call these the 4 Fs, the letter F. Because once we've made a round or a harvest of these first 4 orientational choices, it sets the foundation to go a little bit deeper about your real life here on earth right now. So then with that structure and a little bit of foundation and dreaming about seeing the world from that place, well, now let's bring it home and go a little bit deeper with the 4 Fs. And the first one is fitness. Your fitness. And then once again, here's the 5 pillars. Your physical fitness, your emotional fitness, your mental fitness, your spiritual fitness, and your social, your relationships fitness. I choose to be fit in my body, in my emotions, in my mental capacity, in my spiritual connections, and in my relationships. We make a choice to do that. And then we can see what might need a little work or attention or some love. Your family and tribe shows up here. Yeah, the next one, fitness. Now it's family. Let's take it into your blood family, the second one. The people that you literally have a contract in this life with. And then let's take it to the next ring out. Maybe you were adopted, or the people that are in your inner circle, the people that are really close to you. And this becomes your partners, your lovers, your dearest friends, your family and your tribe, your community, the people in the next ring out. Maybe your work family, your neighborhood, your city, your country, the world, our family, our human family, our plant kingdom family, our animal kingdom family, our mineral kingdom family. We choose family. We choose family. The third F is I choose fulfillment. I choose to know that my well is always full. I choose the 10,000 buckets outside my well to be full as well for those, the ones that I give away freely. I choose to be fulfilled. I choose to know what fills my well. I choose to know how I fill my well. And I choose to know the proof that my well is always full and that I'm on the right path. So I choose fulfillment. And the fourth one is our deep, deep relationship with the silent roommate named money, finance, to be in right relationship with the exchange of value. I choose to be in right relationship with money, a choice of the quality of relationship with that roommate that we all live with called money. Money is in our house. Money is in our pocket. Money is in our soul. We are surrounded by money. Money, every house on the street, the cost of the streets, the cost of every car that drives by. We are surrounded in money. I choose to be in right relationship with my finances. So these four F's, fitness, family, fulfillment, and finance. So here's 8 perspectives, 8 spokes on a wheel that all come back to the heart of you. Making choices from a high place to look at your holistic experience as a human, a spirit having a human experience right now. These secondary choices. These are not the big long-term or life choices. These are the choices of today, the choices of right now. So what I want to do is stop right there again, with these secondary choices, the 4 F's. Anything sparking, any ideas, any acknowledgements, anything new, anything sparking for you all? I'm inviting you to see your own story from each one of these perspectives. From each one of these new set of lenses, I'm going to look at my world from this high place and make significant, meaningful, loving choices from these 8 perspectives. So these are the true choices that we get to make because we love them. We love them. Yeah, Gina.
Well, I'll just share that it's a little personal because I have a toilet room with just the toilet and a wall and a window and the door closes. So I put a whiteboard in front of the toilet so I can see it. And I put what I need to do for the week or whatever, that. But at the very top, I put capital A, capital M, beautiful, healthy, wealthy, and wise. And I've underlined it in orange. I wrote it in blue.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever I go to the bathroom, I get to see that.
Yeah.
And that's my mantra constantly. So, I find it very helpful.
Yes. Yes.
I-
So, yeah, Aubrey, yeah.
Beautiful representation of us, how we create our own stories. I think one of the main choices that we make every day is what we think about, and what we say. And when we realize that we are actively we've already made the choice to create the stories that we've already created, that's when we can start choosing into new stories. And that's exactly how to do it, is to start just repatterning your thoughts and repatterning, noticing when you're thinking things. So if you have negative self-talk, notice it and then change it. And it doesn't, you don't even have to necessarily believe it at first, but simply just changing the words that you're saying to yourself and changing the words that you're saying out loud, and making the choice to shift your pathway and write a different story. That's perfect.
Absolutely. Anybody else? A little aha or a share or something sparking in your soul? What you heard us say. Okay, let's move on. What I want to talk about is the structure of our choices. Because like right now, so far, we've been talking about a really good way to do this. An idealistic, happy, joyful, let's step into that world over there and do it this way. However, a lot of us are not there all the time. And maybe some of us have a hard time getting there a little bit or at all. So I really want to give a shout out to the human experience of some of the struggles we're having to do exactly what we're talking about here. Because sometimes we can say, all right, hero and mentor over there on the stage talking about these good things. I'm stuck. I can't get there. Yeah, but ... I got a case of the yabbits. Yabbit, right? And I think some of that is because it's the structure that we're in. And I love to talk about structure because what does that mean? It's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. You're just in the wrong structure. Everything that we talked about just now with these 8 spokes of true loving choices is a creative structure. But ineffective choices are built in a destructive structure. And I'm going to give you 8 examples of ineffective choices that we all are familiar with. We've all done it a million times, and it's really important information for our intellect to go, oh, that was me. Oh, that's why that happened. Oh, I can see it wasn't my fault. I'm okay. I'm not broken. It was the structure I was in, and now I can choose a new structure. Another way to say that, I can write a new story. But sometimes the structure of the cosmic house that you're in wasn't even yours to start with. It was handed down through our families, through our ancestors, through our communities, and in our deep wish to belong and to participate, we agreed to play by those rules. So these ineffective choices, these 8 main ways that we create ineffective choices, are really important to understand them, to see them. And because Susie mentioned the sabotaging beliefs, the I'm not worthy piece, let me just remind us about what they are, because these are not true, but these are tools we use to understand our suffering. But let me just call them into the circle for wisdom at the moment. The 7 sabotaging beliefs, there's actually 8. The 7 I have here are I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not significant, I don't belong, I'm not capable, I'm not perfect, I don't deserve it, and I'm not safe. And when we step into those mindsets, or we look at the world through those lenses, we are not capable of making our true choices. We limit ourselves. And the beauty and the truth of the 7 sabotaging identities is they are not true. Because how could you not be worthy? How could you possibly not be enough or significant? How could you possibly not belong or be capable? We are absolutely perfect. We deserve it. And when we remember to be so, we are ultimately safe. So that's being aware that we're aware. So I just wanted to call that in, because that is some of the background and the foundation of these 8 ways that we make ineffective choices. So the first one, we use the tool of limitation to make choices. What does this mean? is that we're choosing only what seems possible. Like in this reality, or by these rules, or in this ecology, or with these people. This is seeing through a lens of lack and scarcity. And these emotions are tense, doubtful, worrisome, and limiting. Like, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough knowledge, I don't have enough time. I would love to, but, right? And so what we do here is we take our dream and edit it down to almost nothing. So our true choices become choices, then they become ideas, and then they become dreams too far away to even consider through limitation. Now, the opposite of a limited choice is a limitless choice, choosing from infinite menu of possibility. Like when we looked at the world through those 8 lenses above, oh my gosh, it could be like that, and it could do this, and I get to have that, and then the love of this, and then we rise in our vibration and we start to get excited. A limitless emotion of joy, exciting, thrilling, motivating. This is the power of daydreaming and redreaming the dream, decorating your dreams with more detail every time you redream the dream, allowing yourself to wonder and wander and ponder in your heart song. What if? And then? And if that happens, then I get to, so I can, and then, wow, and the dream expands and expands and expands. So here's the difference between a limited foundation of your choices to a limitless foundation of your choices. An ineffective, limited choice slows and stops in scarcity and reaction. Limitless creativity, possibility, the dream come true. Anything right there about limitation and limitless choices? Can you find a time in your own world when limitation was the base of your choice? I don't get to. I can't have it because. And can you find another time when you went, I'm dreaming gigantically, I'm attached to spirit. I can manifest my dreams. I can do whatever I want. I can have whatever I desire. So the next one is the power of indirectness. The ineffective choice of indirectness. Now, this is vague intentions, blurry, roundabout, a half choice, the long way around. It's distractible, unclear of the end result, without commitment. The emotions are questionable, loaded with doubt and unanswered questions. There's more weight and attention on process instead of result. Worried about the how versus the final product. You're predetermined to stay on the path, which means you never arrive. It's easy to postpone and put off until later, if ever. And a couple of the beliefs around that is I need to know more. I need to learn more before I can. I must do this first. I must solve the problem before I can. I have to fix myself before I can. Always putting more on the to-do list before actually having the thing you choose. Indirectness, vagueness, versus directness, a clear intention, a goal in mind, a straight path, a clear choice, focused, excited, clear about the end result and the emotions of how it will feel. Excited, happy, committed, engaging, connected, focused way more on the result than the path. Open to unconsidered possibilities and collaboration, influenceable, flexible, open to change, easy to continue and make deadlines. So there's the difference of indirect and direct choices. Sometimes in order to feel safe, we will make indirect choices because we're hiding, we don't get to, we're not ready, we have to do something first, I need to belong. The sabotaging identities all show up here in indirectness. Any questions, comments about indirect and direct choices? Awesome. The next one is elimination. the ineffective choice of elimination, where the first thing you do is you eliminate all other possibilities so that only one is left. And how much of your time and energy and resources does that take? To take out everything as opposed to just get to work. These emotions are lack, surrender, overwhelm, and exhaustion. You're stuck in the last resort and the only option, and this is powerlessness, and this is woundedness. It's an away mentality. I'm running away, I'm running away. I'm focused only on what I do not want. I do not want that, I do not want that, I do not want that. I have no other choice. I had no choice. And this makes us feel lonely and alone. Versus inclusion, the other side of this. Open to all other possibilities, flexibility, a clear vision of results. These emotions are openness and wonder and wander and ponder. This is about tribe and community and team, positive, necessary for the good of all. Responsibility for self and your own skills, resources, and greater collaboration. This is feeling included, including others strengthens the greater wisdom of the circle, shared visioning and shared results. So here's that. Choices we make by elimination first versus choices of inclusion. How good can we make it? How rich is the menu? Rich is the menu. Okay, you ready? I'm giving you a lot of information. How you doing? You hanging in there? Are you with me? Okay, good. Good, good, good. The next one is inclusion, the ineffective choice, of default. The ineffective choice of default, a choice we make that is all that is left is reaction. The choice not to make a choice. I choose to not choose. Foggy, unclear, no commitment, limbo, fragile. I don't know. I'm not capable is the root here. Other people and other circumstances always come first, giving your power away. You're a victim to the world in default. Whereas the opposite, as I like to call it, pay up and pay for it. Take responsibility. You're engaged, you're involved. Your choice to make and employ a choice. I'm making a choice and I'm going for it. I'm standing in my choice and I'm standing in my ability to change my mind and make a better one when I need to. Feet hips width apart, standing on the ground, sternum out. I am here, I am alive. Pay up and pay for. The next one is conditional choices. Imposing preconditions. Choices only to, it's the choice to only make a choice if and when certain limitations are in place first. Rules, boxes, structures. You're putting yourself in the second chair in the back seat. You are a subordinate. You're limited power, if at all. Doubt, lack, worry, concern, only if, yeah, but external control over you. Rules and limitations are the priority. There is no room for magic because you are not perfect. The sabotaging root belief is I'm not perfect means conditions. I have to be perfect first. And the opposite side is the unconditional choice, the limitless possibility. Choice to see many options before taking an action. Just like those 8 spokes of true choices. Let's write the menu of how good it is and then make some choices. Engaging in daydreaming and harvesting the details of the daydream. Exciting, wonderful, blissful, joyful, endless opportunities. Right. You with me? We're almost through all 8. You good? The next ineffective choice is react. Oh yeah, robbery.
4 minutes left. I just wanted to let you know.
I saw that. Yep. Real quick. The next one is reaction. Where we react to the world and not create in the world. React, react, react. Give our power away. Victim to the world, endless and tiresome. I love this phrase is that we can either react or create in the world, but you can't do both at the same time. This is a great example of that, because the opposite is create. Create in the world, create like crazy. Now, this last one, I think, is fascinating in the realm of spirituality, is the ineffective choice of adverse possession, a choice based on hazy metaphysical notions about nature and the universe. Oh, all these pretty ideas. If I just sit here and cross my legs and think about fairies and rainbows and unicorns, the world will be fine. Which means you're taking no action. It's pretty thoughts and pretty ideas, and I can just sit here and wait and wait and wait and wait for signs of the universe, right? Versus a real true choice, like we talked about at the beginning. Choices you make because you get excited in your belly, stuff that excites you. It lights you on fire. So there's those ineffective choices versus effective choices. And I love to go through those because I can find myself limiting myself as well as unlimiting myself in my own journey, in my own healing. So I know that we're just about at the end of our hour here. So let's pass the feather around as we begin to close our circle today. Where did you see yourself in my story today? Where did you go, oh my God, I did that. Oh, I was doing that. Oh, my mom does that. I learned how to do that from my brother. Oh, my grandmother and my greatest grandmother and all my mother's side of the family does that. Oh. Let's pass the feather around. Chris, you want to say something? Oh, he's sleeping. He's busy. Anybody else? Anything sparking for you? Anybody want to share? Yeah. Chris, hi.
I could say something to that, I guess. It's interesting that this week's topic is about choices because my wife and I are facing some choices right now that, depending on how you look at them, can be very deep, very emotional, very powerful choices and have a lot of impact on our lives. And so I don't want to go into details of what those are, but this has given me some new tools to go about thinking about how to make the choice, coming up with a solution, and weeding out some of the emotions out of it and more being logical about it. I don't know. It's given me some new tools in the tool belt. So you had to have been inspired this week. So thank you.
Like I said, you know, it's like I love to give our intellect the tools that we're going to need before we need them. Oh, I see. I was doing that. Oh, that's what Corey talked about last week. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Let's pass the. I'd like to hear a little bit from everybody as we close our circle. Anybody want to spark in next?
Suppose I'll say something. Since I've been kind of quiet, just, you know, observing. That's like how I like to do when I'm new around on the block here. It's being, I'm a self-love empowerment coach. That's ultimately what I do. That's my sole purpose because I've lived that journey, a former pimped out, drug addicted prostitute, gang raped, all the whole gamut. And I knew this year was very much a deeper dive into my own self-worth, and having had, again, abuse and things like that in my past, you know, it's looking at the things that I allowed, that I accepted, that I excused in others in my life, and grossly lowered my standard and went down to their level. And I wasn't, and this is me accountable, right? I wasn't asking myself this question of what would you tell your client, Rochelle, if they were in this situation? And so I've been having to, you know, process all of that. Now as a result, you know, clean up, you know, like I said, that space, and especially in me having to do that and look at myself and go, oh, I see what that was and what that was. And so hearing a lot of this just kind of just reaffirms in that space of like what I chose versus what is actually what my truth is.
So good. Yeah, thank you, Rochelle. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Gina, you have some wisdom for us.
Hmm. Um, hearing all of the pathways, I've I've sort of looked back through my life, and I'm pretty damn proud of myself
Yes.
because I'm on my path, and it's been wonderful finding our group, both this one and Aubrey's with the girls, and doing the work that we're doing. I finally I've always wondered what I came here for. And I've always been on a great path, being a nurse and helping people and all of that. But I always knew there was more. It just wasn't time yet. So I'm just having a fabulous time continuing the path forward
Right on, love.
with excitement.
It's such a pleasure having you here with us every week, Gina. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's great being here.
Let's pass the feather to Ed. Hey, buddy.
Well, you've there's a bit of cognitive dissonance with so much information, but I think the choices that we make, like you said, it's in every moment what it is that we can decide what to do, you know, and we can, looking at it from a bigger perspective, is from the conversation that the information that you brought forward, it's allowed me to kind of take a look at the broader perspective of the impact that I'm having on people in my community and the rest of it. And it's really interesting because I'm involved in the Arizona Assembly. We're assembling the actual American government, and then I do the orgonite, create orgone energy products, which helps harmonize, you know. And then recently with the electroculture antenna to help people grow healthier, some more substantial, more food crops or whatever, if you like flowers or whatever it is. So it's I guess bringing that into perspective, it's been very helpful for me, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Oh, Ed, thanks for being here with us and bringing your wisdom and magic with us. Thank you for being here, brother. More time with you, please. Yeah, thanks, man. Susie. Hi, friend.
Hi. Well, one thing is that it's a choice for me and for all of us to be here with you and to learn and grow and to get to where we want to go. So I think that that's huge for all of us. Just being here is just an amazing choice. So just want to say that's really great. I really resonated when you mentioned about the indirectness, the self-sabotage. I think that's a really big piece to my unworthiness that I'm working through and out of. And I really also resonated with inclusion, just being open to just receiving everything to come in order to learn and grow. So I'm really excited about this fantastic path that we're on. I'm really excited about all of you in this group and how we're going to be moving forward. So thank you again.
Susie, thank you for being here and thanks for sharing your heart and your experiences with us in such a beautiful way. Aubrey.
My goodness, I was so present and listening. I was not even thinking about what I was going to share. I think let me listen to myself for a moment.
Hmm.
That's one of the things I've been choosing to do a lot lately is taking moments to be still and to listen more often, because I've noticed that it's very easy to be on a thought train and a path and be going one way. And if you don't take those moments of stillness and don't take those moments with yourself, and it's you miss the choice point. You made the choice, now you're gone. So I think I'm just really grateful to be here. Exactly like Susie said, I'm really grateful that you all joined us today, and thank you for choosing. Thank you for choosing to be here. Thank you for choosing you and to be here as a human and to grow.
Yeah, thanks, sister. Well, in closing our circle today, once again, I am also grateful that we choose to come together and do this. And I want to remind us all, that Aubrey and I are, leading this group, but we also want to remind you that we are doing this work with you. Like before we get on a call, Aubrey and I, we always have a check-in with each other. A little check-in. Hey, how's your heart today? How's my heart today? Do we need anything? What do we do to step away from being our sensitive, clumsy, good-intentioned, messy human, and then step into sacred space together so that we can be here, present in the power of the gap of right now together. And so I just wanted to give a shout out to everyone for bringing your best self here, for opening your hearts and loving yourself gigantically as the first priority. Because self-love is not selfish at all. Aubrey and I are both coaches and healers. We do it independently. We're also doing it together. And we're inviting you guys to be on this journey with us in bigger ways. And this Wednesday call is the first step of that. You're going to start seeing some more structure around what we're offering in the weeks to come. And we're super excited to share with you some of the dreams that we are manifesting. And you're going to see some of that coming out of us here soon. But in the meantime, I invite you guys to stay in touch with us, with each other, to choose love gigantically and to say a radical yes with every breath you take. Any final thoughts before we say goodbye? All right, everybody. That was our session for today. We will see you next week.